is to probably also do a little bit of embarrassment for the group tonight. I'm going to shoot for a little bit of laughs and a little bit of tears, maybe, as well, but mostly for embarrassment. Mostly for embarrassment, if possible, I guess. So we're all here tonight because somewhere up in the UP, she said yes. I think that was this one, right? Somewhere up in the UP, she said yes. And that's why we're all here today. And there was some preparation happening to become Mrs. Galecki along the way. And then they set a date way out in the future, right? And that date was today. So it's amazing how fast time goes, right? So, it's a little bit of the topic of the evening here is to think about just how fast your life can go. So I'm wrapping up the speeches tonight, and these are going to follow the whole process of this song by Jordan Davis called The Next Thing You Know. Okay, if you haven't heard it yet, or if you haven't seen the video yet, please go out, watch it, or listen to it. It just basically tells you how fast your life can go. So let's get right into it. All right, so speaking of embarrassment, right, there's a few of these where, they've, I think gone through some weddings together, right, and taken some different pictures, but, clearly they're having some good times together, right? Okay. Okay, so when he was little, right, he was born Tanner James Galecki, and, his older brother is there with him. We would call him Tan Man. We would call him Tanner Manor Planner, okay, little man. And then that turned into TJ, which turned into Tej, which turned into Peach, which turned into Peachy Man. So if you hear mom call him Peach, or Peachy Man, or Little Man, you'll know where that came from. So this is our little Peachy Man. Okay, so the next thing you know, he was 2. You heard from Taylor that he broke his arm when he was 2 years old. Okay, well, the truth is, I was chasing him around the swing set in the backyard, and he tried to climb up the ladder of the swing set, and because he was really trying to get away from me, and he missed a rung on the ladder. So if you've ever done that, you miss a rung, you know what happens, right? You're really off balance. He fell back, really awkward position, and broke his arm. Okay, this wasn't just a break, okay? He had to have pins put into his cast through his arm that were sticking out of the cast, right? And these pins were protruding through the cast. When they took them off, the pins were actually infected, okay? So a year went by. So the next thing you know, he was 3. Now take a look at the arm, okay? The arm is fully wrapped. He had, 6, 7, maybe 8 surgeries on the arm to try to get the infection out of his bones. And it was a point now where we were trying to save his life, okay? He went septic, and the doctors were worried about him not making it. Okay, so then we had to worry about them amputating his arm because they said that's the best way to get the infection out. What they did was they actually power washed his arm. They left it open for like 6 weeks straight, and he had a PICC line in his heart, and they were pumping antibiotics in a regular basis to try to fight this infection. Well, if you have something that bad, they say that you're never going to do things like a normal person. So we got past the fact that he was going to live, and the fact that he wasn't going to have his arm amputated. But then they started to tell us he would never be normal. Okay, he could never hold a pen. He could never play sports. He'd never be able to do anything like a regular normal kid could do. So when you have something like that happen, there's no way that he could play baseball or throw a baseball, let alone be catcher, which throws back to the pitcher on every play. He would never be able to swing a baseball. Whoop, sorry about that. He'd never be able to swing at a baseball bat, if his arm was that bad. If it's that bad, there's no way that you could play football, right? And if you can't play football, then that takes away a lot from your high school experience. If you can't play football, you can't get recruited to play football at Whitewater, which is also a good place to play football, and graduate from Whitewater. You can't play football, there's no way you can be prom king, right? So this were all the things we were looking at not happening. If you can't be prom king, you can't take a prom queen to the date. Perry, I had 20 of these to pick from.
At least they had pull downs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, wrestling was out of the question, right? There's no way you can wrestle if you can't use your arm correctly. I hate to be that guy who's getting pinned. If you can't wrestle, how in the heck could you throw a shot put? Or a discus? So anyway, our tan man proved the doctors wrong, right? His arm grew. He worked really hard. Now, don't get me wrong. He has a ton of pain on a regular basis. Sometimes his arm still doesn't work right. Sometimes he can't even throw the ball back to the catcher, as you guys seen in softball. But the worst case scenario was over, and he was able to do all of that. The best thing about all this is Canner had a story now. So the story was, and he could tell this to his friends, but actually he could really tell this to the girls, right? So he would show his arm to the girls and say he was bitten in a shark attack. So Chandler, at the lake, I was wondering, did he use that one on you? He did. Wow, see? I didn't even know that. So Tanner loved to play with trucks. He loved anything that did to do with trucks, and anything you could drive on was a good thing. So the next thing you know, he graduated from college, and he still lived at home, and so the trucks got bigger. The toys got bigger, then the toy haulers got bigger, and my driveway got pretty crammed up with this stuff. So I know this is a very special day for you guys. It's a super special day, and it's been really good so far. But my special day is when you bought your house. All that stuff kind of love. I drive up the driveway and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, there's nothing in the driveway. So super happy for you today and for the day you got your house. Okay, super head table we have here today, right? This is a beautiful selection of friends and people that are around this head table. A fantastic group of people. It's beautiful. But there's two guys missing from this table today. Two that I would like to make sure you know about. Those two people are Jake Pizon and Kyle Min. Okay, these two boys spent a lot of time at our house growing up. A lot of breakfasts, a lot of time growing up with these two boys, and they're no longer with us. Okay, so Godspeed, boys, and rest in peace to Jake and Kyle. They would be here today if they could. Okay. So, Jimmy, thank you today for a wonderful ceremony. Again, thank you for your service as always. And thank you for talking about you getting thrown into the pool. What a great segue. I just want to thank you for surviving this incident. I mean, it clearly looks like you're in trouble. So somehow you got through this and you were able to survive enough to come and give us such a fantastic ceremony today. So thank you for doing that. So
my pleasure.
So the next thing you know, it's the middle school years, maybe early high school years, and at one point in time, before there was really good weightlifting, my boys thought they were weightlifters.
Look at those drapes.
Look at them drapes
Yeah,
in the living room.
drapes, right?
Yeah.
And Taylor's wearing my hat. I don't know where he got my hat from, but so.
Where did you get
But
that?
that was the first muscle. Actually, I found a really early muscle pose, but I thought I would use that one, to share you. And you know what? This next one, Tanner, I don't know what this is, but I believe this is a women's track uniform. Maybe you could confirm.
Volleyball.
A volleyball. Okay, so he I guess he thought that, well, I don't know, it just kind of raised me out.
So weird.
Where is it?
Okay, but, oops, too far. Okay, but eventually the arms did get bigger, and here the kind of the tattoos kind of sum it up, right? So there's faith and family, and if you throw in a love, you basically have everything you will need, right? So, thank you for getting to where you are today, Tanner. Your mom and I love you more than you can imagine, and you will always be our little PG man, okay? No matter what happens. We're so proud of you today. So the next thing you know, Chandler came into the picture, and we didn't know much about her at the time, so, we did what always is important to do is to find out more about Chandler, so the way to do that was to send in Tori. Right, Courtney? So if you can get past the Tori test, then you've got a chance. Okay. So after passing that test, we got a chance to see their relationship grow, and we got a chance to start to help Chandler learn some Wisconsin things. You heard she's from the Chicago area. So one of the things we talked about is like where the bubbler is. You have to know where the bubbler is. There are no limits to the number of old fashions you can have. Right? You can definitely try all kinds of different old fashions.
Is there a limit?
And then most importantly, how to say the word bag. Right? I mean, it's bag, right? Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. But even more importantly, we got a chance to do what we love to do the most in our family, which is spending time up north and catching fish. And this is Chandler catching a really nice smallmouth bass. So we're super happy, Wendy and I are super happy, Chandler, that you're able to join the family. We truly love you, and we know this day officially starts your new life together, Tanner and Chandler, and we're super happy about that, even if that means you guys being a little less than ours. Okay, so Wendy, we did it, right? This is our family. Our kids have all grown up. Look at them around this table. It's a fantastic group today. We always joke about up north mornings, right? We're teaching Chandler about up north mornings. This is not the morning at the bar. It could be, it could be, but this is our whole family, and I couldn't be more excited to have it fully complete now with Chandler coming on board. So Wendy, I'm open next weekend if you want to go on a date. I think we've got 30-some years to catch up with now that we have some free time. So that's a wrap, folks. Please raise your glasses for a toast. To Tanner and Chandler, today you start your beautiful new life together. May your love continue to grow over time, and always enjoy every single moment, because the next thing you know, there'll be babies.